Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's talk. This week we had the privilege, honor, and pleasure to listen to four extraordinary musicians, Aruna, June, Simon, and Lorenzo. We got together and we decided to talk about a couple of topics regarding their performance. And I first want to ask Lorenzo, how did you get to know the piece, and why did you choose Penderecki's Clarinet Quartet?
So basically, I'm always interested in finding new repertoire, of course, especially for my instrument, because we have a very, very beautiful literature. We are lucky as clarinet players, but it's not as wide as the violin or piano literature. So I think it's always nice to find something new and often a bit neglected, like this piece, which is not very often played. And I really find it beautiful. It's full of a lot is going on, a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, and I think it could have been a nice idea to bring it to the audience and to play it and to make it a bit more known.
Did you or any of you actually play the piece before?
Never, actually.
Never.
Yeah.
So how was it? How was it rehearsing for the first time? How was the process of doing that?
It was actually a bit strange because, of course, this period is for everyone hard. So, like getting back to the the routine of rehearsals and making chamber music, playing with other people, it was at first a bit of a shock, maybe. But after that, we just found the right chemistry, and it was just we had fun basically, and it was very nice playing with all of you guys.
Yeah. So the piece was written, if I'm not mistaken, the beginning of the 90s, right? I think it was.
Yes, I think it was 1995. The year I was born.
Okay. Ah, well.
Yes, exactly.
And so, you consider this sort of works as new music, contemporary music, and right?
Yes.
And I wanted to ask maybe June, what do you think about the role of contemporary music nowadays? I mean, there is this huge debate. What should performers actually perform on stage? Because most of the audience prefers to listen to the classical repertoire, but many of the musicians actually would like to experiment with living composers. What is your thought about that?
I think that it has a big important role, not just the audience members to listen to, but as musicians. Like Lorenzo mentioned, as a violist, compared to the violin or the cello, we have very limited amount of repertoire, and it's always nice to have composers being born now or around this period to compose something and have different interesting ideas that are completely different to what we usually listen to. And I think it is important that music as a genre keeps expanding.
Mm-hmm. When you work on contemporary music, do you see it in any different way besides, in regards to the standard repertoire?
Yes, more to the fact that personally I'm not as used to playing the contemporary music. With classical period or romantic period, the usual classical music people know. It's most of the time we have played it a lot of times, so we're used to how to work in this way of playing, and everything pretty much is very similar to how we work. But with contemporary music, I think it's different with every composer, and I think there is a different way to work with each and every one of them.
So it gives a certain freedom when rehearsing and performing.
In a way, yes, but also I'd say more stress sometimes. Yes.
So speaking about classical repertoire and milestones in the chamber music repertoire, many of us know that there is a relationship between Penderecki's Clarinet Quartet and Schubert's String Quintet. Himself, Penderecki, said that the string quintet, the cello quintet, was a big inspiration. You played both pieces. How was performing both for you as an interpreter?
I think the similarity in the pieces lies that it's both pieces are a very intense listening experience, and it's pieces that you don't need a lot of time to understand. I think they're not very cerebral. You sit there and immediately what is happening is so special that you're just drawn into it. Like the musical parallels in particular, I struggled a bit to find, because the Penderecki feels for me so different to play and to listen to as well. For me, it's even more introspective and feelings of loneliness and maybe even despair in the Penderecki, while for me the Schubert has more moments of, I think, freedom and joy and also dark sides, of course, but more happiness as well.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I was just saying before beginning the talk, I was telling you how I was listening from the back, basically through the loudspeakers, and I was getting the goosebumps while you guys were playing the Penderecki. It was, and I completely agree. I think both wonderful pieces are this sort of intense experiences, both for performers and for the audience. And as perhaps before we end the talk, I wanted to ask Haruna, or actually all of you, how you think about sticking together, playing together now after the pandemic and in times in which there are quite important social turmoils and political complications. So in this regards, how do you feel about making chamber music together with other people, especially after a pandemic?
So, during the quarantine, I was practicing alone, and I was always during practicing. I was wondering how after pandemic many ensemble quartets, orchestra, how they play on the stage after quarantine. And then I was this year during summer Salzburger Festspiele, they made it finally. And then I went, I think, almost the concert, like opera, quartet, many orchestras.
Halls full.
Yeah, and I heard first, what was it? Belgia Quartet, and they played. I was really shocked from the first note, because it was the first time to listen to the other audience in the concert, and I was really shocked, and I cried, like, and then I thought this is the moment what I wanted to have during the quarantine, because if we don't have this quarantine time, probably I wouldn't have this feeling that how the music is beautiful and gives very nice emotion, experiences, and and at the same time I felt like I'm very happy to be as a musician and also strings player, and also string players is very easily to, I mean not easily but very often we have to play with people, because we cannot go all the word that to be play on the stage alone without any person. It's very nice that I'm very, very happy that to be musicians, strings musicians.
Yeah, and it's as you said, it's such a beautiful experience to finally make music together with people again. And I think choosing the Penderecki is also sort of an intense experience, and it's just perfect to explore this music, right, and get to know it, especially after a lockdown. Yeah.
Atmosphere is also very good.
You also feel how lucky you are playing with other people, because before maybe it was kind of normal. Now you didn't have that for a long time, and now you really feel that, wow, I'm here, I'm playing together with some people, I'm really lucky to do this, and it brings just happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Thank you very much for the talk. And don't forget to tune in on Friday on our Facebook page to listen to the entire performance of the Penderecki Clarinet Quartet. Thank you.